Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's
Wel-
up?
Welcome to Punish Dave with Questions. No black eye. I see.
No black eye. No, that was just a picture.
Thanks to Mario. Thanks to Mario with the nice graphics.
Yeah. Thank you, Mario.
I was thinking, what could we do to that would make it look like you were punished, but I couldn't
Uh,
think of anything else. I was thinking maybe like at
my
the end.
gray hair. That's how you know I'm punished.
Yeah.
My
Mhm.
white hair.
Yeah, I understand. Been going. I haven't been
Hey, look at
dying.
that. You look better without the hat.
But look how flat my hair is. I have a hat head.
Oh, it looks fine.
No, I'm keep the hat on. So, but
I'm not a
yeah,
hat.
not a hat guy.
No,
Uh, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you wear a hat ever.
you never will.
Why don't you like it?
Huh?
Why don't you like it?
I don't. I don't like it. Why cover up your hair? Unless you got
Oh,
something to cover up. I don't have anything to cover up. I'm good.
that's true. That's true. I don't know. I just feel like my hair is all looking like shit. But DP says no hat. Okay, all right. Well,
Hey, look at that.
no, next time. Next time.
See, we're losing. Yeah. You have a new dress code.
Yeah, it's like no hat.
No hat.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. By the way, we'll start off with our sponsors. Make sure you guys check out Sweetwater. We have a link below, our affiliate link, and if you click on there, gives a little kickback to the show. But I know you guys are going to be doing shopping for the holidays. Please check out the link. Buy your amps and guitars and gear and everything like that from Sweetwater, and we appreciate it. Also, check out Thomann as well for our European and anybody who wants to buy out here. If you want to check out Thomann and fixpedalboards.com, check out them as well. They've got all the pedal board upgrades that you can, think of and stuff, and some
Yeah,
rack stuff too. So,
absolutely.
and then what else was I going to say? Um, there was
How's
something
Vinny
else.
doing on the cables?
Vinny, that's what I was going to talk about, the cables. So he's gotten many of them out. I think he said that the last batch was going out Monday or Tuesday next week.
Great. It's good.
So I already heard from somebody, actually Bill Strange from Facebook. He messaged me. He said the cables do sound better. Wish I ordered 2 more. So I told him,
Well, there's another run coming, so
right. So we're going to do another run probably after the holidays. I see Vinny's in the actually in the chat here. So we're going to do another run after the holidays. Because I know it was a lot of work for Vinny. So we're going to give him
he's
a break.
punished by cables.
He's punished by cables. Exactly. Absolutely. He was, he was working hard on them. I know because he was sending me pictures and everything. So I think the second run, we might not do the same packaging that we did the first time. It was just like, it'd
Oh,
be
you know, with the cards.
yeah, with the cards. And I mean, he may do the cards still. I don't know. Sorry. I'm phlegmy here. He may still do the cards. I'm not sure, or we may just not have the signatures, or I don't know. We may make it a little bit more simple. So
You're gonna figure it out.
yeah. So yeah. So you guys just keep an eye out for the cables. We'll make an announcement on the show when we're ready to do the second run. We'll probably do a little live thing with Vinny again or something like that. So
I see my friend Chris Church is in the chat. Hey, Chris, what's up?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Chris
He
Church.
goes, when you get knocked out, do you get knocked back in? Not sure what that means entirely, but okay.
You're in another world, maybe. I see Jason from Head First. What's going on?
Jason? I've talked to Jason like twice in the last couple days. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
cool. I saw he's had some really good episodes recently on his show.
oh yeah, the one with Santiago was great. It was a good one.
I told him, I said my regret with our episode with Santiago was it was just a lot of echo that we had on that show. It was an
early show. You know, hey, early on it's a little archaic, and it's gotten better over time. You know, now we got fancy mics and shit.
Oh yeah. Over time, I mean, I've gotten
Better lighting.
I've gotten messages from people who are like, oh, Mark, why is Mark laughing so loud? Or I'm like, this show is from 6 years ago, bro. Like, just
Yeah.
cut me a break. But yeah, um, they were, and we still should have Josh Scott back on from JHS because that show was a complete disaster in
Oh,
terms.
was it?
Yeah, if you go back and I mean, his internet, it was like all before he launched his show.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really believe, like our show and everything with when he was on, I think it gave him some ideas
Could
to
be.
do.
Yeah.
I think so, but he finally got some good internet, and I messaged him a long time ago about him coming back on, but I just totally forgot about it. So we should have him on again.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, here's James from Rewind. What's going on, James? I need to get back to you also.
Your pickups are awesome.
His pickups are awesome. Really, seriously. And I play my Les Paul. Oh, and I also have a couple other pickups in my Explorer. Yeah, no, he's great. Fantastic pickups. So I need to get back to him. I think we'll do a giveaway for 30,000 subscribers. And we're at right now. Where are we at? 26. We're at 26,833.
Hit subscribe, people.
Yep. So at 30,000, we'll do a giveaway of James's pickup. They're not cheap, so I don't think we're gonna give away more than one. So James, hope you're doing great, man. All right, let's get to some questions. Mike K had a question. Let me go out to the top here.
Well, I see one that's funny.
What's that?
Johan Alvar. It's I don't know. It's a little bit down from the top.
This one?
Yep. I'm not even gonna say.
Do you want me to answer
No,
Yeah.
he's joking. I know, it's like,
Oh, he's joking. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You sure he's joking?
Yeah.
Okay.
All jokes aside, where's the rest of it?
Oh,
Are you looking at the wrong one?
that's the one I have up. Already two in the night here. Just stayed up to ask Dave if the IRX has a power amp. You see that on the screen?
Yeah, I see it on the screen.
Was there another one?
Jokes aside, love the streams.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I missed that.
You didn't read it all.
No, okay. Jokes aside, love the stream. Okay.
One
I'm
more
sorry.
time. It's not stereo and there's no power amp. You can't plug it into a cabinet. Not easily, at least.
Sorry, I wasn't reading the whole thing, and I was
Yeah.
I need more coffee. All right, sorry.
Need more coffee.
Let me have a shot of sugar here.
It's late. It's late in the evening for coffee.
Ah, man. It's been a long day, so I hope everybody's doing good. So what does Dave Freeman want for Christmas?
That's a very good question, Scott. Very good question. Lauren. I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, what do you, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. Everything I'd want would be like way too expensive for anyone to buy me. Yeah.
Non-gear related, non-guitar related stuff?
It probably wouldn't be because I don't have any other hobbies.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
So it's like, what do you want? Oh, I want that $2,500 whatever. The $2,500. What did I just see? I saw a Greco Explorer for I don't know, 2,500 or something on Reverb.
That's a good price.
That is this looks just like that old Rick Nielsen one. It looked cool as shit, and I'm sure it's awesome. But
it's not a bad price, actually.
No, it's not a bad price, but I don't really need anything.
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. I'd love to have that. That'd be cool. But no.
Do we really need it? No.
Do I really need it? No.
I hear you. I was actually going to send it to Jason Hook. I saw where someone sent it to me, a link to an Ibanez Explorer for sale on Reverb. $7,000.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, keeps going up. Pete got in while the getting was good. He had 2,800 or 2,500 or something for his.
That is good.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that's like reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I couldn't even think about paying that. I'll ask now and listen later. What is Dave's favorite amp? Same question to you, Mark. Well, I know Dave's favorite amp. It's your 68 Marshall.
Yeah, for sure. Although I
And
have a few other ones I like too. I have my high watt I love, and I don't know what else do I have.
you ever crank up the high watt like really loud and play it?
Well, I have.
Okay. Yeah.
Not regularly.
No. Cool. Yeah. For me, my favorite amp is the BE100 that I have, the white one over there. I'm going to be rearranging things this weekend.
Boy.
Yeah, I'm moving I'm taking your cabinet, wait, that cabinet, moving it in the middle. Because right now I'm running the wet dry wet with the third power cab.
Oh yeah.
But now I'm gonna make it separate where I'm gonna have actually 3 separate cabs.
Mm.
So I'm gonna have yours in the middle, and then I'll have 2 1x12s.
Cool. That'd be great.
Yeah. And I actually separated it out a little bit more. So.
Yeah. That'll sound great.
Yeah. I want a little bit more spread than just the 4x12.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna redo that this weekend, kind of rearrange shit. So it'll look different next show. Okay, thanks, William. Let's see what we got here. Mike K had a super chat, but I don't see the question. So I don't know. If anybody sees it, let me know. Here's another one. Michael or Orndrus, no question. Do you see that?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find his question. Oh, here it is. Dave, are you still making the gold 72 wah?
Yeah, I just we have more in stock now. I just saw them. So yes, we're still making for sure.
Did you tweak them or do something different to them? Or is it the same?
It's the same. There's one little thing I had to change, but nothing that really affects anything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. They sound good. They sound really good. They're very vocal sounding wah.
Oh yeah,
yeah, really super vocal. It's cool.
Yep. Vinny says the rest of the cables will ship Monday.
Sweet.
I know he had to get. I think he had to get more straight cables or something like that. Straight ends. Ends. Yeah. Okay. I'm scrolling. Here we go. Shane B. Dave, on a past show, you and another guest recommended a few books on tube amp design. I lost my notes. Can you recommend again, please?
London Power Books, the Merlin Belcourt books. Hang on. I have to look up what the damn book is called. I know I can't spell his name for shit. I don't know how to say it even. Merlin Blencow. So the designing tube preamps for guitar and bass. You can get on Amazon. The Valve Wizard is his site, thevalvewizard.co.uk.
How old are these books? Are they like really old?
No, they're not really old.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know when that book was. It was written a while ago, but not that long ago.
Okay.
Those couple books are great. I mean, there's many London Power books. I think the one that you're looking for maybe would be let's see, what is it called? I have these books, I just can't think of them. So the book, sorry,
It's all right.
Power Press books. Okay, Ultimate Tone Volume. Ultimate Tone. The Ultimate Tone. Tut 1, it's called. From the London Power. You can go to londonpower.com and see that. And there's a few others too. Those are some good ones though.
Those are some good choices.
And they're not going to like spoon feed it to you too much, but I mean, there's some good information in both those books for sure.
All right.
Vincent, what are you guys using for a computer? A Mac.
Yep.
Only a Mac. iMac, reasonably recent iMac.
Yeah, my Mac is old. About this Mac, let me look. It's when was this thing built? 2019.
Not that old.
Yeah, 4 years old. It feels old already.
What does mine say? About this Mac. I don't. Where does it say where it was when it was made?
When you click on about this Mac,
yeah,
and it says it'll say iMac, and then it'll say 27-inch or whatever, 20-inch, 2019.
Oh, mine's 2019 too.
Okay,
so Retina 5K.
That's what I have. The
27-inch 2019.
We have the same computer.
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Yeah, I upgraded the memory to 40 gigs.
I have 64 gigs.
Oh, do you really?
Memory, yeah.
Oh, okay. I should probably do that. That's probably
it's super fun. This is real recent. It's not really that old.
Cool. PF. Hey, Mark and Dave, love the show, guys. Built a ton of kits and clones from slows to twins to 2204 and 5v3s. I want to do a simple GA5 Gibson and insert a tone stack. Recommendations on placement.
Oh man, I would have to look at a GA5. I don't even, off the top of my head, I don't even know what that schematic looks like. So, not really. I guess I could look. Insert a tone stack, huh? Well, that's going to fundamentally change what a GA5 is, though.
Here, I'll answer this while you're looking that up. Mark, how you liking your Ampeg VL 1002? I like it.
Can be great.
It could be better. I think
I can make it good.
I'll send it to you one of these days. Yeah, I haven't been playing it much because the more that I kind of compared it to other amps, it's funny. You're in a guitar store, you try an amp, and it sounds great, but you don't have your stuff with you. Like you just. So it would have been great if I had brought it home, tried it with all the stuff, and then say, do I really like it with all the other things that I have? But it's a cool flavor, but it's it's first of all, it's heavy as shit, so I can't bring it to the band. So it's a beast. But I think it sounds good. It could sound better though. So truth be told.
So as far as your GA5 here, well, there's a gain stage, and then you could put an EQ after the gain stage, and then the volume, and then the next gain stage, and be very much like a Fender then. Did it die? I have yet another amp to repair. As Pete just walks in with a top hat.
Oh no, top hat. His top hat died.
Top hat. Oh, there he is.
Red plating.
Red plating tubes. That's easy.
Wow. Sounds like it's really dying.
Yeah, just put the tubes in. You're good.
Maybe. Anyway.
Yeah.
Bye.
Pete. Okay. Any other recommendations on placement?
That's the only place you can put it.
Okay.
There is no other choice.
All right.
There's not much to that amp. It's really simple.
Cool. All right.
But it will probably make it cleaner sounding. So. Oh, wait. What was that you pulled up there?
Yeah, I meant to go back. Just saw yesterday that there's a signature Jimmy Page amp coming out. Should have been Dave doing it. We were just talking about Mitch Colby did the Sun Dragon amps with Jimmy Page. And we're going to try to work on either having Mitch and Jimmy Page on the show, which is a long shot, like a
Big long shot.
Or we'll have Mitch on to talk about the Sun Dragon amps. So I'm sure Dave would have loved to have worked on it, but can't
Wasn't
win them
in the cards. Can't win them all.
Can't win them all. It's the way it is. But yeah, that's super cool. I'm happy for Mitch, and I mean that's got to be a dream come true. So I also saw that Alex Lyson.
And you too could have one of those half stacks for like $22,000.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Signed, but it's all NOS parts too, so it's like it's cool.
Yeah, well, that's what the
I don't know
first
what
one.
speakers they're using in it, but
one of the partners for Luca with Red 7, one of his partners had bought the combo Sun Dragon, and I saw one. I saw it in Miami. All new, new old stock parts. Tubes in there were all, super old, and I was checking it. I couldn't play it, but I checked it out. It was a cool amp.
Yeah,
it had vibe on it, man. It was definitely very cool. So I think that's the thing about like what Mitch is doing with those amps. They're very vibey.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's super cool. It's got a thing to it.
Yeah,
I like the logo too. It's great.
Yeah, it's super cool. Love Jimmy Page. So, yeah, that's cool stuff. Let's see. I have to ask Dave, why haven't you made for yourself what would be fully your favorite amp? I mean, you could make something better than everything else for yourself, right? Do you know?
Every amp I make is that. So, I mean, can I make my fully favorite amp? I mean, what's my favorite amp? There's a lot of favorite amps. Every design I make is sort of that amp. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you make something different. And you make something different. Maybe you improve upon what you did. And you make something else. So.
And then your ear changes over time, or you want to hear something different, or or your customers ask for something different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I saw the blurb about Lyson. So he's doing his.
There's something. Well, he had done that with Mojo before. That amp.
The Lurkst.
How do you say the name?
Lurkst. I think it's Lurkst.
Yeah, I have no idea actually, but every time I look at it, I go, "That's a bad name."
Yeah,
just because you can't pronounce it, or you just don't know the way it's supposed to be pronounced. But anyway, they had done that with Mojo before. That the Lurkst amp existed. There's just now a new kind of line of them or whatever. So it's not real new. But the interesting thing that I wonder about is if anyone ever thought about the fact they're calling it the model the Omega, with the Omega sign on the cabinet in that picture. So how does Omega Amps feel about that? Seems to be, I mean, I haven't looked this up on trademark stuff, but it seems to me someone's in violation of someone.
Interesting. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that. Interesting. I just the last round of lurk stamps that he did with Mojatone, they look just like
Silver Jubilee.
Silver Jubilee.
Mhm.
Yeah, now they look different.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just so. Oh, Jason was saying Merlin Blenko.
Yep.
Todd Huffman, have you ever worked with Warren DeMartini on a rig? Yes, he has.
Yeah, so to speak. He doesn't really use much of a rig anymore. So, I have actually tweaked his pedal board a little bit. He doesn't really use much.
He also worked on his SLOs.
I worked on his amps. I worked on it for sure. But I mean, like his pedal board is like 3 pedals or something.
Really?
The delay, and then like some sort of treble booster thing that he uses for lead stuff. Actually, that might be it.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really need much. His tone is out of the amp.
Or maybe it was 2 delays. That's what he had at the time.
The last thing that I heard that he was doing was he was playing with Matt Sorum and what was that band?
Kings of Chaos.
Kings of Chaos, right?
Yeah. He still does that from time to time. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
In fact, I'm due to have dinner with him.
And I know that he does have a solo album that he one day would like to come out.
It's been rumored.
Yeah. No, he brought it up to us when we talked that one time.
Yeah, I know it's been rumored, but we'll see if it ever sees the light of day.
Yeah. I can actually say I had a conversation with Warren DeMartini.
Yeah, super nice guy.
Yeah, really nice guy. Like that was a highlight of my life, I have to say. Just to even meet and talk to the guy was for 5 minutes. It was kind of like it would have. I mean, he was super chill, but I was sitting back there watching you, working with him and stuff. I took a few pictures, as you know, but I didn't. Yeah, but it was kind of surreal. Like he's sitting there playing, or he's standing there playing the amp. I was like, holy shit, there's Warren DeMartini. It was crazy. So
that's happened a few times in my life. You just kind of sit back and you were like, hey, that guy I idolized when I was a kid,
right,
standing right in front of me right now.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I'm sitting back here watching him play through his amp, and just me and you there.
Yeah,
and I was thinking back to when I was like watching MTV, watching Lay It Down video, and and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy. So
yeah,
Warren's cool. So let's see what else we got here. We have some other questions.
I can get him on the show.
Oh, I would love to.
I keep trying.
That would be so cool.
He doesn't like doing that stuff, so
yeah.
I keep asking though.
He's private. Either that or you should write a book. One of the other.
Well, yeah. I don't think either will happen.
Really? Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
Well, good for him. We
try. I keep trying.
Dave, thanks for all the great amps to support. Dirty Shirley with EL34s versus stock. Also, thoughts on the Jazzmaster?
I love Jazzmasters. Those are cool. I don't really have much more to say about them than that, but like Jaguars too. Candy Apple Red, particularly, I like an old one.
That's nice.
But I have this thing for Candy Apple Red guitars, though. I don't know why. I really like Candy Apple Red guitars. You have a Candy Apple Red.
Yeah, I have your colleagues. Yeah, I love it.
Dirty Shirley with EL34s, man. It sounds pretty damn good. What I noticed sounds really good is the Dirty Shirley with the PS Vane EL34s that we're using in our amps now. I've put that in a Dirty Shirley, and I'm like, yeah, that's good. Actually, it was a twin sister, but it's the same amp.
Is that just a swap and rebias kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's safe to do. It's just you got to rebias.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good. Love it.
DS. Thank you. Dave, is the OT part of the sound on pre-out P2V2 PTV2?
On pre-out is what's throwing me here. on the preamp out, if that's what you're asking, the OT has no bearing on it whatsoever. You're not going through the power section at that point. So it's just the preamp of the amp. That's the best I can answer that without more clarity.
Okay. John DeShane, what's going on, man? Thank you. Dave, two things. The best noise suppressor for a wet, dry, wet rig. 100 Deluxe Sur ISO CLA 100. Oh, that's the power amp, I guess.
Paralyzer.
Yeah. EVH SDE, H90, 3 mic cabs, no cables, just amp hiss.
Well, okay, I'll explain this in kind of detail here a little bit. I mean, I think probably a ISP decimator G-string pedal, but you have to do something that's a little more difficult to do. Somehow, whatever your front end chain is, you need to go into some sort of splitter. Ideally, a transformer isolated splitter. Let's say it's a radial AB both box, the Twin City AB both box. Let's just say it's that. And the isolated output, the one with the ground lift on, feeds the decimator input. So that's the key input on that. And then the rest of the decimator. So in other words, you're not plugging through it to go to the front of your amp. You're just feeding the front of it. And then the rest of it goes in the loop of your amplifier. And that works really good. That's what we did on Jason Hook's rig. And it worked great. I mean, it's probably about as good as any of them. You know, it's maybe better. Maybe it's probably still the best. But I don't like running through the front end thing because it adds a little extra hiss. It colors the sound just a little bit. And I just don't like doing that.
Okay. All right. Asheville guy, thank you. Warren Haynes Christmas Jam in Asheville, North Carolina. On all proceeds go to charity. Excited to see / Miles Kennedy on the list and Billy Gibbons. You can stream it live December 9th. Just wanted folks to know who are interested.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. Speaking of charities, once Vinny is done with all the cables and ships everything out, we will assess all the costs, and then we will announce on the show our donation to Sweet Relief.
Awesome.
So that reminded me. So yeah, we have the money, and we'll just have to settle up and make the donation. I think it'll happen sometime, probably around Christmas, which will be nice.
Perfect.
So, okay. So yeah, thanks, Asheville guy. That's cool. I'll definitely check that out. December 9th, and / Miles Kennedy on the list. Billy Gibbons.
Cool.
Zeke Downey. What's up?
Hey, Zeke.
Dave and Mark just had a sip of some Jefferson's Age Sea Bourbon. Oh, nice. While looking at my Friedman amps and said to myself, I love these amps in this show. That's awesome. Thank you.
Cheers.
Yes. I'm not drinking tonight, but just a little water, but cheers to you.
Someone was kind enough to buy me a new bottle of something. So Belvini.
A Balvenie bottle.
Yeah, Belvini bottle.
Which one? Doublewood?
Yeah. So I'm having a little bit of this.
I broke out the rye 3-chord bottle.
Yeah, man, that shit is so long gone.
I still have that.
That shit was gone in a week.
That's good.
In fact, I talked to him the other day, and he was just like, if you need any more, let me know.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, totally cool.
Brian S. Thanks for answering my dumb email ohm question for my new Gel 20 and matching cab so fast. I swear I read the manual.
It's okay. I'm really used to it by now.
It's all right.
It's almost to the point that where the questions don't even faze me now. I just answer.
Hey, look, I mean, I have this show, and I sent an email to Howard Kaplan one time about the EVH amp, and it was like the dumbest question ever. I was like, I don't know why the effects
The
loop
effects
isn't
loop
working.
doesn't work. Well, did you press the switch?
Right? Did you press the effects switch on the foot switch? And I immediately wrote him back and said, I am such a dumbass.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
That was a good one. It's like, did you turn the amp on?
yeah, that was pretty bad. DS, I don't see a question. Now I got to go back to the live and find you. I don't see it. So thank you for the question, or the contribution. Zaba Waba, what's going on, man? Merry Christmas, as guys. Dave, thoughts on the 1960B with G1265s with the BE and twin sister? Currently using blackbacks and dig them. Getting, I don't know what. Do you know what that means?
Getting something
as good
newer
as-
ones. is the
Are
same
are,
as the-
are they as good as the old ones? Maybe
I don't think so.
no.
I think
Getting
they're a little different. I have one cab with those in it. I do like them a lot, actually. And in fact, that's the cab in our IRs in the IRX. We have that cab in, I do believe, in the 2 notes pack too. Yeah, or maybe I don't have them in the IRX. Maybe I had it in the 2 notes pack. I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Yeah, I think you have it in the 2 notes pack.
Yeah. I'm getting the IRs confused. I like it. It's cool sounding. The 65s, at least in this old cabinet I have, are pretty cool sounding. It's different. It's definitely different than like greenbacks. But if I run the 2 cabinets together, boy, is that fun.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I have an old cabinet next to me, kind of over here, right over there. The 2 vintage cabinets I have, and one has blackbacks and one has the 65s. And if you run them both at the same time, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good.
That's awesome. Okay. Fan of the Wild, Dave. When you have dinner with Warren, please tell him we love him and we need him on Tone Talk for his wisdom.
I will. I will. In fact, I gotta text him.
Gordon Rex. So what would your answer be to this? And this is a good question. 2 great guitarists, but Steve Stevens uses low output pickups and Warren DeMartini uses high output. What's your take or analysis?
Steve Stevens didn't always use low output pickups. So if you look at his history, like originally, the pickups in his guitar during the Billy Idol's day was JB. And his Charvel that he had, the Glow Charvel, originally it was a JB, so that's not a low output. He uses lower output pickups these days. Warren's is kind of like a JB. It's a little hotter, but it doesn't sound, from what I understand, it doesn't quite sound as hot as you think it would be. And also it's Alnico 2 magnet. So I think it really depends on the gain in your amp. So if you're using lower gain amps like plexis and things, I think that higher output pickup kind of works. If you're using higher gain amps, it doesn't work at all. I don't think. I would go for the lower gain thing. And hence, Steve uses a higher gain amp now than he used to, which was the plexis. And so, it all, it's a teeter-totter. Everything's a teeter-totter. You know what I mean? Like it's if I do this here in the amp, and then I get this result, but I could also do it here and get the same result.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do I put a smidge more of pepper or a little more of garlic?
And I don't think Warren uses a lot of gain. He's not.
Warren doesn't use a lot of gain, no.
Yeah, he's not overly gainy. So,
Mm-mm.
which I think that might explain why he uses a little slightly hotter pickup.
Yeah.
So, because when he,
a JB style pickup into a Plexi kind of Marshall does sound great. with the right guitar, and you also have to remember it's with the Floyd, and that's a lot different than if it was, say, a hardtail, or if it was a Les Paul or something like that.
Mm.
Floyd's a little thinner sounding, and the JB adds a little beef to it. And also, what gauge strings are you going to use? That's the other important factor,
Right.
So like a 9-gauge string with a JB with a Floyd Rose works a lot better than if you, say, put a 10 set into a hardtail guitar and with a JB, that gets a little muddy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Even the hardtail Jake guitar I have, I think it's a little the hardtail's a little too thick for the JB, I think. So again, everything, what I've come to realize over the years is everything's sort of a teeter-totter. So, okay, I have this bridge. Okay, well, and this body wood and this neck and this pickup might work with that bridge. But if I put it in a different guitar, it's not going to work.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. It's like,
so
it's all trial and error. But yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I don't know if Warren did he always use a hot pickup?
As far as I can remember, it was a JB that it was he used back in the 80s.
Okay.
Along with everyone else.
Gotcha.
It's like kind of the only, there was Super Distortion and JB and
right.
I guess there was Duncan Distortion too.
Blake Burris, what's up? I don't see your question, but thanks for the super chat. If I find it, I'll ask it. Dave Turner, hey Mark, just want to ask if you want to have Abaddon from the UK band Venom as a guest. I play with him in a band.
Oh, that's interesting. I remember as a kid listening to Venom.
Really? Yeah, I never heard of
classic metal band. Big UK metal band. In fact, at the time, yeah, I remember that. That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, email me.
Yeah, maybe.
ToneTalkMark@gmail. ToneTalkMark@gmail.com. Mr. Anderson. Thank you. Hey guys, Perry Margoloff, the curator of Mr. Ziff's insane collection of 300 bursts, would be a great guest. He also knows Jimmy, and he played a crucial role in retrieving his stolen Gibson custom Les Paul.
Yeah.
Where is that place?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but I don't know.
Tim's in the chat. Tim from Fixed Pedal Boards. Hey, Tim.
What's up, Tim? I'm going to take a picture of this.
Sorry to hear about Roy, Tim. Been meaning to call you about that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Hope he's okay.
Oh. You didn't hear it all.
Oh, no.
He's passed away.
Oh, he passed away.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a heart attack. So.
Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not good news.
So he's not okay.
He's not okay.
Not okay.
Wow. Was that secondary to the car accident?
Yeah, it was after surgery and some things from what I understand. So it was in the hospital and
wow.
I think Tim was saying it probably blew a clot, and
Jesus Christ. Okay. Great. More good news.
I've given like 5 people that news in the last week. I'm like, why do I have to be the guy giving the news?
Right. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Sorry, Tim. Blake, here's your question. Hey, Dave, how would one hook up an Avatone CLA power amp to an Sin 2? Oh,
come out of the Sin 2, go into the power amp, and out of the power amp into the cabinets.
It's easy.
I mean, the main outs, you'll have to get cables like tip sleeve to XLR cables, but that's easy to get. You don't need any adapters or anything. It's just how the cable's wired. And then, yeah, I mean, the speaker cables are banana plugs. So it's like a PA power amp. So you guess you need special cables for that too. That's it. Should
So-
sound great, actually.
Yeah, that's I did see the back of those. They do have some strange like outputs and stuff.
It's not really strange for more of a professional power amp.
Oh, really?
You would normally see an XLR balanced input, and you would normally see sort of banana plug outputs.
Is that more for like audiophiles than guitar?
Yeah, well, it's more like studio audiophiles and different things like that. That's just the norm. I mean, old H&H power amps are the same way.
I didn't know that.
Well, H&H had a 1/4 inch and an XLR input.
Okay, did not know that.
Yep.
Why? Good question. Thanks for the super chat, Dave. Can you discuss the difference between the common JJ606 black bottom tubes, match pairs sold at most retailers versus Ruby and Tube Depot JJ's Max Quartets?
They're exact same tube.
And do matching JJ12X7s matter as much as the power tube?
I mean, the JJ606 is the same at all those places. Just it's just Ruby does their own matching. Tube Depot does their own matching. Are they matched better? Maybe not. Maybe it's the same. But they're the same tube, same exact tube. Maybe Ruby does a better job, and Tube Depot than just a standard thing. It depends on where that retailer is buying the JJ from. But it's all the same. And as far as matching on 12AX7s, you don't really need to match 12AX7s at all. Maybe for the phase inverter, maybe, but that's kind of iffy too, because nothing's really balanced in a phase inverter. So why match it? Why spend the money? I mean, like you can buy a matched tube, but then the phase inverter is not matched and the output transformer is not matched. So there's almost no point in buying the matched tube. Snake oil.
Right. Sorry, I'm choking. I'm about to like cough my brains out here. I don't know why. Sorry.
You need a little whiskey.
Yeah,
Fix that right up.
Yeah, exactly. Let me get that 3-quart bottle. George Lionel. Dave, I love Toshi Yanagi's VH tones he gets through his Friedman modded Plexis. Quick question, if I may. Will we be able to get similar tones from your upcoming vintage line Plexi amp?
Absolutely.
When's that coming, by the way?
Sometime next year. Early next year.
Put one aside for me.
Yeah, you'll be able to get that. It's literally a Dead Nuts clone of my Plexi. So, I mean, it sounds, with an amp switcher, I can switch between it and not know which is which.
Wow.
So.
And it comes with a built-in Variac.
Built-in Variac, correct. Mm-hmm.
So cool. Love it.
Works really good. Everything sounds good.
I'll tell my cousin to save that power station for me. Okay, let's see. Brian S. I never can understand the ohm settings. I've got two 16 ohm, 112 cabs, so that's the 8 ohm setting from the amp.
That's correct. So you understand it.
Yeah, you got it.
You got it. It halves. So you take the two 16 ohm cabs and then it cuts it in two. So if you had two 4 ohm cabs, you couldn't use it because that would be 2 ohms. And most amps don't have 2 ohm output, except a Super Reverb. And 2/8 would be 4 ohms. And now when you mismatch, then that gets weird. So a 16 and an 8, what is that? So it's closer to a 4. Somewhere between a 4 and an 8. So you would probably set the amp at 4.
If you put it to 8, would you hear? Are you gonna hurt it, or are you gonna?
You're not gonna hurt. You're not gonna hurt. A one mismatch any direction. You're not gonna hurt anything.
Okay, that's good. That's good advice.
Unless your tubes are kind of half failing or something.
Calviapus, what's up? You mentioned in an email correspondence a few months ago that you would be doing cases for your pedal boards. Any time frame in mind?
Oh, yeah, I got to get that together. Yes, I'll partner with a company doing some hard cases, just so they're available for the pedal boards, our standard sizes. I just haven't done it. I literally is a friend of mine, so I can just do it. I just haven't.
Okay.
I guess I got to have them make one of each or several of each, and then decide where they're going to be sold exactly.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Dave, can you please discuss these optional upgrades when ordering tubes from Tube Depot? Balanced triodes, high gain, low noise, and microphonics. Which would you choose for a PV Invective 120, 5153, and a 6505?
To be honest, I mean, like, it depends on what tubes you are looking to get. Balanced triodes wouldn't bother. Low noise and microphonics for the first slots in the amps, for sure. Maybe 5153, maybe the first couple slots in the amp. Low noise and microphonics would probably be good. High gain, I don't know. I mean, it's not going to be that much higher gain than something else. Like if you are getting, let's say, JJ ECC 83s, high gain. I mean, the lowest I've seen those gains are like on a maxi matcher, which is things we use, is like or the preamp tube matcher from maxi matcher is like 93 is on the low side, maybe, and the high side might be like 104. It's not really a huge difference, really. You're not going to hear that much of a difference. I would actually venture to say the lower gain ones sound better of that particular tube, at least. So that's why I say depends on the tube. Low noise and microphonics, probably your best thing to shoot for.
Okay, cool. That's a good question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Davis Phillips, any updates on the Naked Run?
Not really. I mean, there's 4 of them in process. How's that? So 4 of, yeah. I should just have Boutique build them all. Because it's like
Will you ever get to it?
It's hard. It's hard to get it all done. Hard to find enough time in the day.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's some progress.
Yep.
Brian S. I saw Mick Mars on Life in 6 Strings. If you're going to get him, don't wait too long. I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that. I know who to call.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw Pete Thorne's going to be having Kim Thiel on.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
a great guest.
I just saw Kim's signature guitar.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Pete has it.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
What
really
is,
cool,
what is,
actually.
What is it?
So the guild that looks like the SG.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool. Super cool. I liked it.
Very nice. Yeah, I'll be watching that. That's cool.
That'd be good. When is that?
I don't know.
I think I would know.
Yeah, I don't know when it is.
Sometime in the near future.
Yeah, I know he mentioned, or maybe I saw it. I saw an advertisement for it. I can't remember what it was, but maybe it's this Sunday. I don't know.
Here's one for you. Pietro says, Mighty Dave, thoughts on the new 2290 pedal? Is it in the same league as the original? Man, it's great. Yes, it sounds well, my partner in Friedman, who's a huge delay collector, he has every known rack mount piece of delay ever existing, did a pretty solid AB against the original. And he goes, man, it's like 95% of what the original is. It's like not enough to even like care. It's great. And when I tried it too, I was like, wow, this sounds awesome. And it's so simple to use. I love that.
Wow. Okay. I haven't seen them. I haven't checked them out.
Oh, it's awesome.
When did they come out?
The 2290 pedal, the TC?
Yeah.
You haven't seen that?
No. Maybe
Really?
I have. Maybe I have. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I did. Oh, that's the
Yeah.
one with the red.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. It's awesome. It's huge. It's big.
I was blanking.
But man, it just sounded good though. It's so easy to use. I'm all about it being easy to use.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, here's Carson's amplification. Kim Thiel.
Hey man.
What's going on?
What's going on, Brian?
Hope you're doing good, Brian.
I love your logo.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool.
It
Just
is
a comment as I'm staring at the logo on the screen here.
Yeah, because it is exactly what it is, but it looks cool.
Super cool.
Dave, what are some of the top things to check and look out for when buying a used tube amp?
Does it work? I mean, there's not really anything in particular. I mean, maybe you should look inside to make sure that something didn't burn down inside, or that what you're buying is like reasonably. Again, it will depend on what you're buying, but if you're going to buy let's say a vintage Marshall or something, you want the transformers to be original. You would want things like that. Make sure there's no things are not roasted inside, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But most everything can be fixed if it's got the original basic components and stuff. So
okay.
Working is always a good sign if it's working. And everything else is generally minor.
Would that change any of your advice? Change if it was a vintage tube amp? Anything?
Yeah, well, that's what I was sort of saying. So if it's a vintage tube amp, hey, does it have the original transformers? Were all the transformers changed to mercury magnetics? Well, that just killed the whole vintage amp. It's just, your value just dropped in half. So, stuff like that.
Yep. Okay. Dave, what can you do to an Ampeg VO 1002 to make it great? I've had mine since 95 and it could use some help after these years. Thanks, Hollywood Jack.
Oh, you can kind of hot rod it a little bit. Take a little of the Lee Jackson out of it. It comes out really good actually if I just kind of rework the front end a little bit. I've done it before I did it on one in my life, and it sounded great when it was finished. Yeah.
One of these days I'll get it to you. If I don't sell it first.
Yeah. I can do it, but I'm not going to take anything in until like sometime after the first of the year.
Yeah.
Or maybe like even a couple months into the first of the year. Still trying to finish like old things around here that I got to really, get out the door.
Mm-hmm. Why? Thanks again for a question. The tubes are JJ606 and JJ12AX7s. Thanks, Dave and Mark, for all you've taught on Tone Talk and for those great answers to my previous 2 super chats. Oh, no problem, man.
Oh, we got to check the audio, right? Okay. Sorry.
That's all right. The tubes are JJ606 and JJ12AX7s. Okay.
Yeah, so everything applied that I said. Just get the low microphonics and low noise.
Thomas Rogan. Hey Dave, is the idea of the Steve Stevens 20-watt dead?
I mean, nothing's dead. It's give me a break. just there's only I don't know how many, only I mean, it's not like astronomically different than all the other ones. You know what I mean? Like, so, um, could we do it? Maybe. Maybe would we do it in a limited run? That might be fun. You
Mm.
know. I'm leaving that on the table, so that's still a possibility, I guess.
Yeah.
I like the idea of limited runs sometimes, so you can do a small batch of something and just knock it out. And then it's just like you can only keep adding so many amps to your line, before you need to discontinue how many amps could you possibly have in your line? You know what I mean?
So a limited run is actually a smart idea because
yeah, because it's not permanently in your line,
right. Yeah. No, and then of course it adds some element of collector.
Yeah, exactly. So, that might be a possibility.
Cool. Awesome. Rummy, Dave, might you know how Steve Stevens sets his delays for rhythm guitar? What delay would do the trick?
EVH delay would do the trick. It's generally just a stereo delay. So it's like a ping pong stereo delay. So
400, 800, 300.
Yeah, 255 or 3.6 or something, I'm not sure exactly on the times, but all of that will get you the same results.
Right.
Generally it's just a ping pong, just going back and forth with roughly even repeats as it's panning back and forth,
Right.
It's always sort of been the way.
Gotcha. Blake Burris again. How are you? Thoughts on the Strymon Dig and Flint Trem reverb?
Man, the Dig sounds cool. I have one sitting here too that I think they did a good job with the Dig. I think it sounds great. The Flint, really love the Flint trem and verb. I think the verb sounds amazing. I think Strymon does a really good job at just making when you see like Strymon stuff in shootouts, like I know like Andertons had done a bunch of shootouts with Rabea on delays and reverbs and things where it was blind shootouts and they'd kind of narrow it down. You see Strymon's winning over and over and over again. And when you're listening, you're just like, man, that sounds so good, actually. I there's a certain depth and just better tonality to some of them.
It's funny. I've never tried any of their pedals.
Yeah, I mean, they did it really well. They did it at a high level. It's a high end, stuff.
Cool. Thanks, Blake. Spartan, we did talk about the new Sun Dragon amps, and they're super cool. So we might have Mitch Colby on the show one day, and potentially Jimmy Page, if that could ever happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
Very long shot.
Yeah. What's your opinion on a Marshall Silver Jubilee?
I think a Jubilee can sound really good. I think it only sounds good to a point. So it's not going to be super gainy. If you get it super gainy or you try to get it super gainy, it doesn't sound that good. It sounds great for like the slash sort of amount of gain where it's just good and crunchy, and you got to get it up to a certain volume too. Otherwise it just doesn't sound good either. If you're living in that mid gain area, I think it sounds great. It's pretty cool sounding, but you can't like push it for lots of gain. It just doesn't do it well.
Yeah, and that was always
and it has to be loud too. Really, it doesn't like being quiet either. So it's got to be like you got to push it a little bit, push a little air.
When I got the Silver Jubilee, the reissue, I was a bit let down because I was expecting like the amp to sound like Slash, for some reason, and it just was not that. So
Well, it can.
it can.
You got to have the right pickups, and you got to play it kind of loud,
Right.
and you can't,
Yeah.
it for sure can.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody hit the like button, please, and hit subscribe. Okay. We would appreciate it.
Most of all, if all 366 of you are subscribers or not, come on, make it. You need to be a subscriber.
Yes, hit the subscribe button.
In the future, that will really matter, probably.
I think it does. 357 Mag. Thanks again, Dave, for your time answering all my questions to help get my small box working. After my tube failed and bias issue, I've watched every episode of Tone Talk and enjoyed them all. Thanks.
Awesome, man. Thanks for watching.
This is interesting. I just saw we were on the anniversary of Jerry Cantrell forgetting how many days there were in November and missing the opening gig for Van Halen. Any insights into that story? I never heard that, I don't think.
I don't know what that story is. Although if we can ever finally get Jerry on, I'm gonna ask him. So Mark, remember this.
Yeah, I will. I'll definitely remember that story. We got to get him on. I mean, it's got to happen.
Well, he did say yes, but then it's just a matter of a maze of management and everything else.
Yeah. I know how that goes. Thoughts on Engel amps?
Man, the guys at Engel are awesome, and I think Engel amps have a sound. I think they have a sound, and I think a pretty good one, to be honest. I mean, I think they're primarily more. I think they're a little bit heavier sounding, primarily, at least some of them. I mean, the old amp, the one that has had several names over the years, it started off as a Richie Blackmore amp, and then it was might have been the producer amp after that, and then that one's cool for more of an slightly older school Marshall-y kind of thing. But they sound pretty wicked, actually. I think they're a good amp, and the guys at Engel are awesome, though. Good friends.
They make some cool preamps also, rack preamps.
Yeah. Guys at Engels are, like I said, guys at Engel, those guys are awesome.
Cool. Zabawabo. Dave, do the regulated heaters in the twin sister mean no need to rebias tubes with the Variac lower voltage? Want to make sure I understand. Thank you.
No. Although what it does mean, those are regulated DC preamp tube heaters. What it does mean is you can only run that Variac so low, though. You might not be able to get it down to 90, although that amp, maybe you can. Although the effect isn't the same as it would be if it was AC heaters. I mean, you can run it. I mean, you can definitely run it down to like 100 for sure. You'll know if you run it too low, you'll start to hear a hum. And that means the regulator is going out of regulation. And then you just need to turn it back up till where it doesn't hum.
Interesting.
And that amp's, the power tubes are biased on the hot side anyway, so chances are you might not even have to rebias it if you're using a Variac and a moderate amount. Although you could.
Joe Robin, looking at reissue Marshall 1959 that's been modded by Splawn. Any idea what one is worth?
I don't know what it's worth. I know they do a lot to it. No idea what that's worth, to be honest. It's hard to predict what any Marshall's worth these days. I mean, it's
a reissue.
It's a reissue. First off, is it worth more because it's modded? I'm not sure.
I was going to say maybe a couple $100 more.
Maybe. Depends on who mods something, that if it's worth more or not. It's like,
I mean,
But the reissues go for a ton of money anyway.
yeah, they're expensive. I would say.
Oh, Mr. Jason has a story about reissues.
He does.
Mr. Jason Tong has a story about reissue Marshalls.
Oh, does he?
I don't know if he wants to share, but
Dave, does each tube in the IRX independently run each channel, or do they cascade into each other?
no. They one is a cathode follower, and the other is the front end tube, the first tube. So a plexi channel uses only half of that tube, and the other dirtier channel uses both halves of that first tube. Just like an amp, just like a small box would be, or something like that.
Okay. More guitars. Thank you. Merry effing Christmas to you guys. Thanks. Dave, might you collab on more Synergy modules? The Steve Stevens would be sick. I've got all your Synergy modules in addition to the Friedman amps. Love them too.
Yeah, I mean, I've been involved in a lot of them, actually. So, yeah, there'll be more. There might be some more Friedman ones too. I kind of want to do a small box one. I think that would be cool.
That would be different than the Plexi.
Well, yeah, it's different than the Plexi. There's another, maybe an updated Plexi module I wouldn't mind being involved with too. With a new kind of way of doing it. That'd be kind of fun. We'll see. We'll see what's around the corner.
Cool. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about this. Okay. This is interesting. Yeah. Is right. I'm kind of curious. I saw, speaking of Synergy, I saw on LinkedIn. No, I saw on Facebook.
Bill Kelleher?
Bill Kelleher. Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. I think it had to do with a travel rig.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty sure that was in Europe, and it was all about getting a small travel rig.
Okay, but then he was using Victory for a little bit.
I don't know what that's about either these days.
Okay.
I do know for a fact he's still using his amp also. So
he's a guitar player.
I don't know.
He's a guitar player. He likes to use a lot of different
it's a fickle thing, fickle world, you know.
Yeah. I know. I saw that and I was like, yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. He likes gear.
Yeah.
That's what's up with that. He loves gear.
No. Yeah.
Oh.
Whatever. Let's see. Todd Pavlidis. Thanks, man. Dave, I have a pair of JMP 2204s in storage. They haven't been powered up since 2005 around. Is there a burn-in conditioning procedure I should follow before loading on them? Putting a load on them. Yeah, you probably variac them up, right?
Yeah, you could probably slowly use a variac and slowly bring them up. Just have them plugged into a cabinet or something and just slowly, over a course of an hour, bring up the variac. Should be fine. To be honest, it'd probably be fine if you just turned them on.
Okay. That's cool. Good for you.
It's not like super old, so, it might be fine.
Yeah. What is that? 17 years in storage?
Well, since it was on,
Right.
I mean, there's plenty of old amps that I get in all the time that I know no one's cared. Just powered them on, it's fine.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yes, I got these two. Got these. Steve Malt, no question, just showing support. Thanks for what you guys do.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We will grab a beer on you. Zeke Downey, Dave, what's the tonal difference would you say between an EL34 and the new PS Vane EL34 power tubes you're using now?
I absolutely like the PS Vane ones better. The EH is good. Don't get me wrong. It's just a little grainier sounding to me. PS Vanes, I don't know. I just like little bit better, less grainy.
Okay.
Both are good. Don't get me wrong.
Are they the same price? Like all things equal?
Probably not anymore with all the Russia stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah. That makes sense. Tommy Man, thank you. Supporting you guys, thank you. What was Dave drinking before he polished off that little glass? That cool little glass.
It's not polished off. It's right here.
Oh.
It's Belvini Doublewood Scotch. That some kind sir, of course I don't remember who, was kind enough to give it to me.
Nice. That's always nice. I was having lunch with a good friend of mine who all throughout the years was never a drinker, never a smoker or anything like that. And he just told me he's like really into doing this whole thing with bourbon. He makes his own ice.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's like really into it with the smoker and the whole thing. And I'm like,
Oh
really?
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
really? Look at you. And I was like, that's funny.
That's cool.
That's why I broke out the bottle of because I thought
He was like, you know what? Fuck it.
yeah, exactly. You only live once. Fuck it.
You only live once. I don't know how old he is, but
He's our age. Yeah.
it's like I'm old. I want to. I just want to have a good time.
I just want to relax.
Just want to relax, take the stress off of the day.
Yep. No, he says he likes doing it. I was like, really? I go, how often you do that? He's like 3 times a week or weekends and stuff. I'm like, good for you. Good.
Great. Have fun.
Exactly.
It probably won't kill you.
Probably not. Mr.
There's
Anderson.
a lot of other stuff that'll probably kill you more.
Probably. And I'm probably doing it. So I don't know if smoking is that good for you, but Dave, do you think that the 900s are next in line for a price teleportation like the original JCM 800 JMPs?
No, God, I hope not.
Yes, SLXs are criminally underpriced. Bought 3 last year for peanuts. Those are cool. Like out of any of the 900s, the SLXs are cool.
That's the best one out of any of the 900s, and it's also one that you could maybe do something to. Forget about the other ones.
Yeah. I like you said, I hope not. I
think the vintage modern is also an underrated cheap option too.
That's an amp I've wanted for a long time.
But you do have to do quite a bit of work
to make it sound good.
I've done a couple and it came out really, really good. And but you got to put a new loop in. You're going to lose the reverb. That's not going to be there anymore. So you're going to spend a little bit of money to do it. But it's a pretty well made amp, and the way it's put together is pretty cool.
It's got KT88s, right?
KT66.
KT66.
Yeah. Which I left in the one I did. It sounded great. Someone said in here, what about a small wait, this was back a while, and this is from someone who owns a small box. Ying Zach Lynch. Which I've always loved your name. I know you have a small box that I worked on and had a little saturation switch on it and stuff. Had it forever. You always sound good when you're playing that. But he was asking about what about a small box with KT88s or 6550s in it. I'm like, yeah, that'd be good, man. It's interesting when you put a tube like that, even in like a B100 or something. There's a certain toughness to it. It's like it's kind of cool. It's got this slightly bigger low end, but like this meaty like low end, like this more headroomy low end to it. It's cool.
I've always wanted to do it, get those big tubes for like the BE, but
it's cool. But God, the tubes are so expensive.
That's what I was going to say. They're so expensive. It's going to cost me like a grand to fucking.
It's like a 50 watts, at least a little bit better because you could put them in and it wouldn't be too bad. But
right, yeah, it's expensive as fuck.
Yeah, absolutely,
definitely. Let's see. Peter Schaefer. Hey guys, still loving your show. Looking for a delay. Boss EVH or new 2290? Which one is easier to program in your opinion?
The new 2290 would be easier by far to program. Although the Boss, they definitely sound different than each other, and they're both great. So the Boss one might be more versatile than the 2291 with what it can do, but there's definitely a learning curve on how to program it.
It's not
2290 is super easy to program.
Yeah, I agree. The EVH is not as easy
Yeah.
as like the DD500 was easier.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But they have distinctly different sounds than each other.
I was about to say they sound compared to each other.
Just different. It's hard to put into words what the difference is, but there's a tonal difference to each one of them. So pretty severely different from each other. Both are great though. I mean, the 2290 does look cool though.
Does the 2290 do like that wet dry wet kind of thing like that the
Well, no, it won't do all the stuff the EVH will do.
I
But
got
it'll do a ping pong delay. That's what it's going to do.
right.
Not separate delay times. It'll just ping pong the delay.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is all that it'll do anything the original 2290 did. So, but the modulation, put a little modulation on the delay repeats and stuff. It's really good.
Thanks, Peter, for the question. Hey, I wanted to ask you, what's your recommended setting for a slapback delay? Like, is there, if someone want to do a slapback, like what?
I mean, you can do it with a variety of things. I mean, in what music context?
Kind of like country kind of thing.
I mean, you can do it with almost anything. You can do it with like an analog delay pedal of some sort in front of an amp.
And what setting would you? Okay, I'm kind of playing with like 125, 120.
Yeah, around 100. Yeah.
Okay.
In the ballpark of 100 milliseconds.
Okay.
Yeah. One repeat generally.
Right.
So that's what's done.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, nice and tight and like it's
exactly
cool sounding.
Yeah, it does sound cool. I was messing with it.
Yeah, for sure.
You
can do it with a variety of delays.
Yeah,
but
I was,
I
was using the Sir Discovery that I have. Which is
that'll work good. Yeah, sure, for sure.
That's a cool delay. Rewind. Thanks so much. We appreciate the super chat. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. We did. It was nice. Dave, having worked on both, how would you describe the differences in sound and circuit between the 12301 and the stripped Tolex Bearwood head?
Well, the stripped Tolex Bearwood head is more, I do believe it was a 69 or 70 head. So the filtering is a little stiffer. The preamp circuit is about the same. The plate voltage in the Bearwood head is a little higher. So the stripped Tolex head would be a little tighter and a little more brutal sort of sounding, where the 12301, those amps, generally speaking, the plate voltage is a little lower. It's more around 460 volts versus 480 volts. And they have a little more, when driven really hard, a little more compression. So seemingly more gain because of the compression. Not necessarily more gain, but it's a little singier and a little browner.
So we're talking about Ed's amps.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's so cool. Yeah.
Kind of apples and oranges in some ways. I mean, there's some things about the older Plexi. So it's really the same. The front end is all the same. But the filtering is different. And the plate voltage is different. And those are the two big factors in it. Also, what do you want to call it? I think we call it the input grid resistors to the power tube. So in the latter one, the bare Tolex wood one, it has like 5.6K resistors going into all the power tubes, but in the early 120301 circuit, it has one shared 1.5K resistor. That tonality between even those two little things is different.
Wow.
So could you make the other one sound more like the original one? Yes, you could if you change the filtering and change that kind of configuration. Sure. Even though it had a higher play voltage, you can still get close.
Okay. Cool question, James. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Paul Crane, thank you. How you, Dave and Mark? Mark and Dave. Quick question. What is the risk of using my bass 6 with my valve guitar amps? Deluxe reverb with Jensen and Laney 15 watt with 10-inch gold.
You should be okay. I mean, I guess the only thing is if it's an old deluxe reverb and it has a Jensen in it, maybe you could, if the speaker's a little aged and a little brittle, maybe you could harm the speaker a little bit.
Don't turn
only if it's old, but yeah, bass 6 into that shit would sound great. Do it.
I've never played one of them.
Just do it. Amps are made to be abused. Come on.
Right. That's funny.
I really do think that. I think amps are made to be kind of abused. And and frankly, amps take a lot more abuse than people give them credit for.
Dave Turner, your email's probably not coming through because you're probably spelling my name with a K. It's Tone Talk Mark with a C at gmail.com. Try that. Dave, where do you see Friedman amps in 20 years?
I don't know. Well, that's a good question. I mean, we're going to keep moving forward and doing new things, I think it will be a little more technology based, like, items like IRX and things like that, At the same time, though, I'm about to do a vintage line, so I don't know how that works.
Right. Right. Interesting.
I'm sorry. No matter what, I still think, like IRX is a great product. A tube amp is still a great thing, and people say on the IRX that it sounds like their tube amp, which it does. And it sounds much better than most modelers. And the thing about that makes it great is the fact that it's just knobs. You're not sitting there trying to get this perfect tonality for hours on end. You just turn the knobs and you're like, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Do I still want to hear cabinets on stage? I do. And I think it's better. I think people are losing sight of how much better it actually is. I talked to someone recently who was on a Jan Osborne. I don't know how to say the last name exactly. Who was with Charlie. I can't say his name either. Pugh or something.
Oh, Charlie Pugh.
Pugh, yeah. Who's was a big pop artist and stuff, and he was talking about, he had a fractal out and this and that. And it's just like, yeah, it's just not, I don't know. And now he's going back to 2 JTM 45s. He's just like, it's not the same. It's just not the same.
No.
And is it pretty good? Yeah, it's pretty good. But I'm sorry, it's not the same. It's just not the same.
And the experience as
know?
a listener,
It's not the same.
not the same either, because the power, there's just something about the power of a band with real amps and everything coming off the stage.
And I've seen that like in front of my eyes, just watch one band after another, and it's just like, no, man, you need some stage volume. I'm
Right.
sorry, you need it. And you know what I've seen too is every sound guy that says, "Oh, it's much better. I can create a better mix for you without the volume on the stage." I've never seen that to be true ever. Never. I've never seen. Absolutely, that mix was way better that way. No, it wasn't. No, said no one ever. Said no one ever.
That's funny.
And this isn't just. I'm not trying to be like this old guy talking here. No, it's true. It's not better.
I mean, it depends on the music too.
I don't think it's better ever. I don't
Okay.
care what kind of music it is.
I mean, if they're playing jazz, does it really give a shit? But I mean, I'm just, I don't know.
No, jazz would be definitely jazz should be real amps and things on stage. It's no, come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-uh.
James, rewind. Very cool. Didn't realize the Bearwood was a bit later. Thanks so much for your great details.
Yeah, the Bearwood was 69 or 70. I can't remember top of my head.
Did he get it with the Tolex taken off of it?
I have no idea the story behind that.
Yeah.
Probably not. He probably pulled it off. Pulled it all off his cabinets.
Right.
In the early days. So
didn't the Beatles play a 6 into their Fenders?
I think so, yeah.
Hey guys, what are some custom made amps in Australia? Well,
Headfirst amplification.
Yeah, check out Headfirst.
There's another one that's doing some stuff. Serious amplification. Alex Catlow, I think. Jason, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's had.
You doing some amps? I know he does some stuff, custom things and stuff.
The K in Mark's name identifies as a C. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Oh, but and in 20 years, going back to that question, what will Friedman be doing? You'll be 75.
I'll be 75.
And you'll be
hopefully still here.
Hopefully still here and retired.
I probably won't be retired.
You'll still be plugging out amps.
Well, I definitely won't be retired fully for sure. I don't think I have a retirement path, so I think that
you'll just be working.
I'll be working until I drop dead in my amp.
Oh God. Paul Crane, Mark, the Bass 6 is a fantastic thing. I mainly use it for Cure type stuff, but it can be well heavy too, huh? I've never seen one in Lefty, so I have to that
might not exist. Might have never existed.
Yeah, I had to see that. I mean, Paul McCartney may have had one, but hey, Marco and Dave, this is my question. I have the IRX C's and want to be able to have the Tonex on my pedals, but how do I share delay and reverb in the loops? Thank you.
Wait, you have the IRX. What does C's mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
And want to be able to have the Tonex on my pedals, but how do I share delay and reverb in the loops? I'm not sure what you're asking.
No, I'm not sure
exactly. Are you talking like two parallel paths or something? And then you want to share the. It doesn't sound like an easy thing. What you're trying to accomplish. It might be better if you email me more detailed information. FriedmanAmps@gmail.com.
Okay.
And I can try to help you some more.
By the way, you know what? Since my son says to me when he was home for Thanksgiving, "Hey, Dad, I listened to the entire show of Jason Hook when you had him on." I go, really? Because he never listens to the show.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. He's like, I really like that band, Flat Black. He's like, I've been listening to a lot of their stuff. So he's like,
That's cool.
yeah. And now he wants to go see them. They're playing in May at some festival. So he asked me.
Well,
I'm like, well, maybe we'll go together. You know.
yeah. That's
See if we-
cool.
Yeah. See if we can hook up with Jason there. So now I'll be a hero. Like if I can actually like have my son meet a guy that he actually likes a band from. You know? I'll be
Right.
That would be amazing. So yeah, Giacomo, right, Dave.
Yeah, my son wants to go to the there's some big festival later in the year, the new year, in Vegas. Wish they were young, something young tour or something, and like everyone's on the bill that I know. Like everyone.
Oh, that's good.
Like System of a Down and Pantera and Alice in Chains and like it's just like literally the list goes on.
Oh wow.
And he's like, "Can we get tickets?" I think so. Probably. I'll just go down the list.
Right. Yeah. Start with the lowest hanging fruit. That's cool. Yeah. Well, that's always kind of cool when they're like they're interested. I'm like,
Oh, my son's gotten totally into music, like heavily into music. And it's so weird. It like all of a sudden flipped. He flipped a switch at some point in time. He was into like some hip hop and some things, and and then all of a sudden he started really delving into a whole bunch of stuff and realized he liked heavy guitar.
Wow. That's awesome.
and then as soon as he realized that, he's like going down this rabbit hole of all sorts of bands all over the map, from 90s stuff to 80s stuff to really heavy stuff to all over the map.
I got to say, these kids, they do make good use of Spotify.
Oh, absolutely. Like as soon as he figures out one thing he likes, then there's all the recommendations.
Yeah.
And then they go down this, or if I tell him something, hey, check out this band. This band was kind of neat. And like I told him, oh, check out this. You might like this. It's like a band, a Japanese metal band from the 80s, EZO.
Right.
And it's a really cool band. Really some cool songs and pretty heavy. And then he looked at that. He goes, oh, that's cool. And then he goes, oh, what about these recommendations here? And then he starts digging out these other obscure Japanese metal bands that I've never heard of.
Wow.
And I'm like going, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. When we were driving somewhere with him, he put his phone on the in the car, and he just let the Spotify play, and I was like, oh, that band, some of the stuff I was like, oh, that sounds like Linkin Park. Like, like I'm kind of
sure.
I'm like, that sounds like this, but but I was like, oh, that's cool. Some of the stuff that he was playing. So yeah, it's cool to connect.
Yeah. My son has also now acquired a girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
At 12.
Wow, he's maturing fast.
Yep. He's reasonably adult for his age.
Oh, good for him. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
My son is still he's still shy. So, but he'll meet somebody eventually. He'll meet somebody. Chad Hudson. No, the Gel 20 is not limited edition.
Nope. It will continue. And by the way, if anyone is looking for one, my best friend from growing up, Motor City Guitar, has a bunch of them in stock. Now, most other retailers don't have any in stock right now. So if you want one, or you're thinking about getting one, or it's holiday time and you want to get one for someone else, go to Motor City Guitar and buy yourself one.
Great place.
They have a large amount, sort of by accident, but they have a large amount there right now.
Oh, cool.
So they would like to clear some of them out.
All right. Well, reach out to Motor City Guitars.
It's a long story. It was sort of like supposed to be like doled out over a period of time, and then they got them all at once.
Oh, really?
And it was like, oh, whoops. So yeah, go get your JAL20 at Motor City Guitars, man. And if you haven't dealt with them, please go to Motor City Guitars because they're an awesome company to deal with. Marty, the owners, was my best friend growing up, and they have a massive selection of stuff, pedals and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Great guy.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, the C's was cabinets in that last question. 2 IRX C's. 2 IRX cabinets? What does that mean?
I still don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Scrolling down, getting to the end here. What do you think of Gosh amps? I've never heard of them.
Gosh? Are you talking Grosh?
Grosh makes amps too?
No, there was a guy that worked for Grosh that made some amps, a few.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of them. Rummy, Mark, do you think this SLO 30 works best with vintage 30s? I like it better with Dave's cabinet than I do with the third cabinet with the WGS speakers. It sounds a bit muddy with the WGS speakers for some reason. So maybe the answer is yes, because there are vintage 30s in the in Dave's cabinet.
Or a couple.
Yeah, there's a couple. So, but I don't know. I haven't played it directly with just vintage 30s. But I'd imagine it probably does sound really good with it. What do you think, Dave?
I mean, yeah, I think maybe the vintage 30s do sound good with it. I think it tightens it up a little bit and gives it a little cut in the high end.
Mm-hmm.
I like it with that. Yeah, for sure.
Dave, how does the Metropolis DVL1 compare to a Friedman JJ, or does it compare to something else in your lineup?
The DVL1 is really different than the JJ. Hard for me to like describe what the differences are. It's kind of a polar opposite tone, though. So if you like Jerry's tone, you're probably not going to love the DVL1 because it's not even remotely the same. So that's maybe the best I could tell you. I mean, the JJ is heavier and darker. It's like a dark, heavy tone. I mean, it's not exceptionally dark, but it's like it's what Jerry is known for.
Okay. And there was a message from here. No, from Headfirst from Jason, but I can't find it anymore. Where he said that Sirius Amps is doing some builds, but I can't find it anymore.
Sirius is doing some builds.
Yeah,
that's cool. I was just trying to answer as accurately as I knew, but you would know better, Jason, what's going on over there in Australia, the other side of the planet.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. But all right, well, we have another super chat here. Hey guys, just got the IRX and it sounds amazing. Any thoughts on a transparent multi-effects unit that I can use in 4 cable method where it doesn't suck tone?
I mean, to be honest, I don't really have a problem with the Boss MS3. Although some people say it sucks tone, but I haven't really experienced that. The one I really like a lot is the Ampero 2 from Hotone or Hot Tone, or I don't know how to say that name. To be
Hot
honest.
one.
Hot One. I'm not exactly sure how to say that name.
Yeah.
Although I should know because the Ampero 2 is awesome. Although it's not going to do any like MIDI program changes for you. Because it doesn't send MIDI, it receives it. So if you had a MIDI controller, you could control both of those. That's a really powerful tool, and it's a really easy. The display on it is all touchscreen, and it's really easy to use. You could also use the Line 6 HX effects. That's a great unit and relatively easy to use. Although Line 6 tends to occasionally have flaws here and there and things. But it's pretty worked out by this point in time, so that works well. There's also, if you want even simpler than that, there's also the TC. What are they called? The multi-effect TC looks like a big pedal. Plethora. The TC Plethora pedal. There's a 3 and a 5. 3 wouldn't really work unless you just want to put it in a loop. If you want 4 cable, the 5 works. That's a really simple thing to use. But probably for like if you want to use it as the MIDI controller and a multi-effects to control the IRX, probably the HX effects or the MS3 would be the choices.
Okay.
Because you can switch everything, with it. It acts as the MIDI controller and the effects.
Right. Clyde Thorpe, thank you. Dave, what do you think of Granger amps? Great show as always, guys. Keep on rocking.
I don't know what I think. I mean, I've seen some like, relative Plexi clones over the years that I've worked on and stuff. They're always well made and stuff. So, I don't really. I mean, I think they're well made.
Okay. Yeah, I've never played one, so sorry I can't help you, Clyde.
Yeah, as far as sound, I mean, what I've always had is someone wanting me to modify them. So, but they came out great. They're made of quality components and stuff. So,
Roger Dat, how are you, man? Thank you. Aloha, gents. Thank you for this fine service and excellent content you provide. Oh, thank you. Thoughts on Bluto Tone amps? Would you consider having Brandon on Tone Talk?
Sure. Bluto Tone's cool. That's more of the Dumbly thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've never listened to their amps or heard
I mean, so like a Dumble Overdrive special kind of thing.
Cool.
For good amount of money. But yeah, sure.
Is it kind of like the 2 Rock kind of?
Yeah, it's a similar vein of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you want to have those guys on the show?
Sure, but who is those guys?
I heard that there's
at this point. I mean, like, I don't know who even owns it anymore.
Oh, okay. I was talking to somebody over at Walt Grace Music when the guy said that they'd be interested in coming on. I don't know who they are.
Sure. We welcome everyone almost.
Right, cool. Their amps are so expensive.
Oh, so are Bluto Tones and
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I just looked that up. Let's see, $15,000 used.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Bluto Tone something for $8,900. High Plains Drifter for $9,300.
Wow, that's crazy.
Man, I'm doing something wrong here. That's what I have to say. I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, people still complain, right? But yeah, I mean, 2 Rock amps start at like at least $4,000 or $5,000, you know, and then
Yeah.
they go up from there. I saw a John Mayer version. It was like 35,000 or something. I was like,
Yeah.
this is
I'm
crazy.
doing something wrong. I thoroughly believe that I could retire if I actually did something different.
Oh my God. Well, that's all the super chats we got. I know it's getting late. Let me see if I can find any other.
Stephen
Question.
Douglas, Dave, have you ever used the Voodoo Labs PX8 pedal switcher? Yes, I have one here. Works good actually. Yeah, I mean, I have a long history with Josh from Voodoo Lab, and the PX8 is a cool little. It's real simplistic, but it's a very cool little switcher. Friedman's Select line starting at 10K. With all NOS parts. I like the idea. Handmade by Dave. That would have to be more.
Yeah. 15K.
Yeah. Friedman Platinum line, 20,000 per tube. I like that even better.
Oh my God.
I think I'm going to do, I think I am going to do some interesting, I might in the future be doing some limited run things that are going to be kind of fun. I really want to do that, some of that stuff, because that's total fun for me. You know, like, I don't know, I'll come up with something that's special and different and you know, using certain parts and things. And I think, you know, that'd be fun to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although NOS parts are getting harder and harder and harder to find. So
yeah, you almost have to use your collection.
Like, I don't even know where, you know, Mitch Colby's doing these 50 amps for Jimmy Page, and he's putting GE 6550s in them. And I'm like, where on earth did you get 50 quads
right
of GE 6550s? And you must have more than that, because there might be some that are going to be bad. So
maybe he's got stock.
I don't know where he got that from, you know, and I guess there's a price for everything, you know. I guess you can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I
Amazing.
mean, like, some of that stuff is cost real money. I mean, like, you know, a quad of G6550s are going to be expensive. Put them in these amps, it's going to be expensive, and these NOS parts are expensive.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand where the price is at.
Right.
You know, it's handmade amp,
signed by Jimmy Page.
Signed by Jimmy Page. But even not even that, it's just like those NOS parts are going to cost thousands.
Right.
Alone, you know.
And then what do you do when they go bad? Then you're
well, I mean, the caps and resistors and stuff aren't going to necessarily go bad, but you know, the tubes, and the tubes are really tough. You know, it'll be fine.
Yeah, probably. Comment for Dave regarding pricing. I'm sure if you use PEC pots, people will still pay. Would say your name is big enough now where people aren't coming to you for a cheap deal.
Well, I know PEC pots aren't all that, but PEC pots are just kind of like, man, I mean, it's exorbitantly expensive for not that much better than some other things. So, yeah, you're right.
Okay. Ponder, thanks for everything you guys do. Hey, thank you. We really appreciate that. Got my cable today. Thanks. How about a limited run DeMartini?
We had talked about that.
Maybe in your next dinner.
Yeah, I might talk to him about that. I mean, I think the limited run that's going to come is going to be the Richard Fortis Dr. Feelgood amp.
Ooh, that would be cool.
That's coming, people. So,
wow.
So that's the amp that Richard Fortis that was used on Dr. Feelgood with Bob Rock, and that's the amp that Richard sold for an exorbitant amount of money. That's coming though. I'm going to do that. And
So
it will be a limited run. I don't know what that number is yet, but it will be a limited run.
And it would be a clone of that amp?
It's a clone of that amp. Yep.
Wow.
I had that amp in my possession, took every measurement known to mankind.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's killer. Well, 40 grid, I hope you like your cable. Use it well. Alex Kitchen. Hey guys, how can I make my Sir SL67 more ed spec?
It's a good question. I haven't been in the SL67. I've been in the SL68. I'd have to see what's in a 67. I've actually never been in one. So
Okay.
can't totally answer that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, this will be our last question before we head out. Dave, before the rack mounted and digital effects era, why didn't we get to see more amps with guitar pedals built into them?
Guitar pedals built into them?
Like a tube screamer into a pedal, or into an amp, or
good question. I don't know.
almost seems like a no-brainer.
Because back then it was just they used an amp and they put a pedal in front of it. I don't know how to answer that one.
Okay. Well,
or master built Friedman guitars. Yeah, there's another option.
Yeah. Let me see if I got everybody.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think so.
We're at 2 hours, which is normally when we kind of end off here.
Yep. Our next guest, we're working on it. But we're looking at having Warren Hewitt from what is that? Produce Like a Pro.
Warren Hewitt.
And so he'll be looking like December 16th, possibly, but we're going to work on that. We'll figure it out. And then Adam Nolly from Get Good, and he's got a whole bunch of cool stuff. That would be December 30th, right before the end of the year. So those are the upcoming shows, and stay tuned, and please subscribe and hit the bell and all that stuff, and we'll be back soon. All right, guys?
All right, cool. See you guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Talk to you.